sampling myself with the SP-404 MK2. That's right, today I'm sampling myself. I've made a lot of beats, I've sampled a lot of things, I've done a lot of things, but sometimes you just don't have access to the samples. You're not trying to go through loops, and you're looking for a specific sound that will create a sound that you're looking for. Well, the SP is the perfect tool for that. So today I'm going to use my Roland J6. It's playing chords through the Yamaha seat track. The Yamaha seat track has a bunch of stock sounds and all kinds of sounds inside of it. The seat track is going inside of the Op1 field, where I'm going to record what I play the tape. And then the Op1 field is going to the SP-404, where we'll record it back in and make our beat there. All right, so that's the breakdown. Now we're gonna go through it straight, no chops, no edits, no nothing. What's going on, guys? It's your brother O.T.G. The O.T.G's for Overtime Grind. Hardly seen, but I'm always around. And today I have the Roland SP-404 MK2. I have the Yamaha seat track, the Roland J6, and the Teenage Engineering Op1 field. Today we're going to be kind of creative. We are going to play some chords. We're going to find something that we like. I'm just going to lean towards a sound that feels good, that gives me a good feel. I'm not looking for a specific chord range or whatever. I'm just looking for a combination that feels good and also sounds like it could be played good, whether it's slowed down or sped up. Right now, I'm going to record this to a 4-track tape inside of the Op1. So I'm using it as my metronome / click track, just to kind of give myself some pacing. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Make sure you hit that notification bell. On January 1st, I will be putting up some of these creations that I make. I'll put them up for the SP-404 masterclass for people who have the SP-404 masterclass. If you have intermediate or above, I'll make sure that I start uploading some of these sample packs, and these will be royalty free. Some of these you're watching right now, how I create them. I make a lot of music that is for television, for movies and things of that nature. And a lot of that stuff isn't hip hop, so it's just moody music. I guess they call it ambient, they call it all kinds of different things. I just kind of create it from layering. But what happens is this stuff also makes great stuff that you can sample. So right now we're going to record these chords in. They're playing again from the Yamaha seat track. That's the orange and white device in the middle. The Roland J6 is hooked up via MIDI to the seat track. It's also hooked up via MIDI to the Op1 field via the USB-C. And I have the Op1 field going out of a 3.5 millimeter to a 1/4 inch inside of the SP-404. All right, so you can see we got that on the tape. What we'll do is we'll use some Op1 sounds now. Go ahead. Press our metronome button, turn our metronome off. cool thing about making these samples when you're doing this type of stuff is that this is a great way for you to get better at playing keys and understanding playing the chords long. So if you play chords long, they're a little moody. If you play them shorter, it could be a little up-tempo. You know, you could try some weird combinations of different things, because you need to remember that most of the time you're going to do some kind of pitch work to it. The average person might just loop it up, but for us who chop it up, reverse it, change the pitch, do all types of things, you'll find all kinds of gems inside of there if you try some stuff outside of the bag. So right now we're going to find a chord. It sounds a little crazy. We want to just try all white keys. Alright, let's go ahead and set that up to loop. Go ahead and these are just the OP1 stock sounds. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Like I said, I'm going to add all of this stuff to the Gumroad. People who have the highest level. You know, you get lifetime updates. If you buy the super producer package, you'll get access to all the drum kits and sample packs that I update going forward. So this is something new that I'm going to add starting in 2025. Kind of excited. Help you guys out. You know, so now we have that part to the tape. You know, we go over to the seat track. Get our volume right. Let's see, let's add a piano or something from the seat track. The cool thing about the J6 is if I go ahead, I can turn off the chord mode and I have all those keys that are in the chord right now. So what I'm going to do is turn off the chord mode, and then I should automatically have keys that are in that chord already available, which now I can just go find the keys that play in time. See, so we'll turn the chord mode off, and now we have all those. Each key plays a key inside of the actual chord set. J6 is dope. Not only does it have a built-in synthesizer inside of it, I use it all the time for the 100 chords. I use those chords in a bunch of different ways. Okay, and so now let's go ahead and record that in. All my OP1 field users, I'm definitely got some sample packs coming for you guys. Drum kits that I've made from the seat track, samples that I've made. You know, I do this every day. I feel like it's a blessing that we have access to these devices. And so in between my regular sessions and things that I'm doing, I always try to put some time in, put some hours in, just creating freely. You know, that's why I know my channel's a little bit different than other people's channel. I don't like to do edits. I like to just show you guys working through the process, you know. You can see it's real-time ideas. We don't get so caught up in what we're making. We don't get so caught up in trying to make everything the one. But what we do is get caught up in just creating freely because we understand part of that is the blessing. And then true producers can tap in and create and tap into all kinds of different sounds and grow. We have certain workflows that we can do anytime when it comes to making trap beats. I can turn that on anytime. When it comes to boom bap beats, we can go straight to that workflow, you know. But you have these other workflows that allow you to be creative and test your creative prowess, and they help you get further in the machine. So here we go. Let's sample that. What I'm doing now is I'm turning on the reverb on the main channel on the Op1, and I'm turning up the volume. I'm recording this into the SP-404 MK2 right now. I'm going to turn off the loop so we can get the whole little tail at the end. Now we have our loop. Let's go ahead and sample some drums in. So the way I like to do that is I like to let the sound that I was just I just created play in. And then I like to go through and find drums that I feel like match, build the drum kit to the sounds. So I'm pushing the drum knob and I'm turning the knob on the right. You can see the light moving. It's going through all the different drum sounds. So I just go through. I decided I like that first kick. Go through and find us a good snare or clap. See, so we use that as a reference, let it play. And I'm not too worried about the pitch right now, because if I was worried about, I can change the pitch on the drums, we can go get more drums, we can do all that. But I don't like to stop the music when I'm working. You know, I like to create straight through. This is how I feel like it's the most efficient in my creation process. So I just follow the vibe, we trust them, and then we get the idea laid down, and then we go to the next one. And then if I'm in with artists or around people who are looking for something that I might have, I could give them, then we play the ideas and finish them out, bounce them out, track them out, whatever the need is, and go from there. All right, so I'm just testing the rest of the sounds. If you never seen the seat track on the right, on the left, it has 7 drum tracks and then 2 synthesizers, a DX and a sampler. And everything in the orange are control knobs. So I have my kit. I'm going to copy that sample that I made yesterday. Again, make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Hit the notification bell. Check out the masterclass starting on January 1st, 2025. I'll be uploading a lot of the projects to people who have the intermediate and master classes, not for the beginners. You'll still get videos for the beginners, but to get the sound packs and more, you gotta get a higher tier. All right, so right now what I'm doing is I'm sampling each one of these drum sounds to a pad. That knob turns up the volume. Now I'm going to find another kick because I like to have two kicks. And it depends how I feel with this beat at the end. Do I want to merge the samples? What all do I want to do? Right now we're going to go and turn the gate off on all of our drums. And we're going to go ahead and chop our sample. I'm going to auto chop it by time and put it on 8 pads so I can take the top half of my 8 pads and turn it into the sample. So I have that now. What I'm going to do next is the gate is probably off on all of them, but I'm going to check. All right, so we're going to go to mute groups, pad, shift 8. I'm going to go to the mute groups and put them all on a mute group so they mute each other. And then now we just going to mess around. We got our own sample. We made our own sample. We chopped it up. We can play around with it. I'm going to mess around with the pitch some. I like to use the vinyl. Now we could test it out. We could go through, check our volume. I like to mess around and play around with the parts, each piece, and see what I have. Mess around with the pitch, turn it up, turn it down. I'll probably go ahead and get my drums lined out. Get the volume somewhere in the middle. That right there. I probably set all of them at -107. This is what I mean about some of the drum kits, because I just made this kit to get familiar with it. Let's go ahead and set all these at -107 on pitch, 1.07. Sometimes it's cool if other ones is a little bit lower. It's all what the sound gives you or what you're looking for. But right now, that one feels good. Go ahead and set our first pad too. Now we're going to have to go through and get the volumes right, but we just want to make sure all those sound good. I feel like the drums match nicely, and anything that isn't nice, we can always come back and set it later. The great thing about the 404, some people will look at it as a limitation, but the reality is some of those limits help you when you're coming back and doing work. It's so straightforward, you can't mess it up. So if you have a thing, if you're listening later and the samples aren't loud enough or the parts aren't loud enough, it's really simple to come into the SP and adjust the volumes and get that proper at its root, you know. It's all about making sure you save properly though. For me, a lot of these beats I plan on doing something with them. So I try not to do a lot of merging of patterns or mixing down. I try to keep everything pretty much separated and work it out in the pattern mode and just work from there as a way of always being able to come back and make changes further in the future. So now I'm going to go to tap tempo, which is shift pad 11. And we're going to tap the tempo of our slowed down sample. Going to send that to the bank. So it says it's 78. I'm going to go to a new bank. I like using TR-Rec, which is a step sequencer. Don't make the mistake I made. I always accidentally hit the BPM knob. Put that back on 78, move this back to 4. There we go. We got our 4 bars now. Let's hit record. Let's go ahead and throw our claps in. You know, you can shuffle through the pages using the rotary knob. Let's put our hi-hats in a basic place for right now. If I want to go in and move the timing, we could go in and adjust the timing later. But what we want to do, what I like to do, is get a basic idea. Get the idea and see if it's going to work. And then I come back and get extremely decisive about shuffle, swing, and things of that nature. We're going to move the hi-hats, the shaker, and all those places. We're going to move them all around. It'll give us some feeling of swing and movement, even without doing any panning, just putting them in specific places inside of the pattern will give it a vibe and some movement. We'll play our actual kick in. Maybe not. Maybe I'll place it. But right now, let's get the sample laid in. All right, I like that. Let's go ahead and lay that down. Now I got that laid down. It sounds like one of them is a little off. Could probably try to record it. I think I'm going to go to TR-Rec, remove it, and then just play it back in. So we go to our step sequencer, we look for it. We should see it. There it is. It's off beat. Boom. And now we'll just go back, hit record, and play it in and just fill into place. That'd be the easiest and fastest method. Boom. There we go. That's done. Now, I'll go to TR-Rec. Let's just throw our drums in there. Our kick. Sometimes I like to throw a kick on where the snare or the clap is. Not all the time does it fit. Right there it didn't fit. So we'll try to add it in some different places. When you start making a lot of beats, you'll realize that a lot of your kick patterns are the same. It's only so many places that you can put a kick. You get what I mean? And so that's when you start to understand the movement of the music and other things and how that works. Because it's only so many places you're putting a kick or a snare. You know, let's make a bass. So let's use the sound generator. Let's hit shift and record setting. Let's go ahead and just find a bass note. We don't gotta go far, you know what I mean? Let's just find a bass note to add in. The sound generator on the SP is one of those new features that they added. People say they have a hard time knowing when to use it. Well, here's a great time. You got the beat going already and you're looking for a bass that'll cut through the mix. Go make the bass. So now we can hit shift pad 4 and put it in chromatic mode and we could play it chromatically and add it. I'm not going to go too much longer, so we're probably going to lay this bass line down and call that a loop. But you can easily see how easy it is, you know, in 30 minutes. We sampled ourselves, we set up a 4-track of something that we played freely over a 111 BPM. We sampled it, we chopped it, we added our own drums in, we created our own bass line, and we got a pretty livable loop that we're working on now. You know, and so now what we're going to do is go out to pattern, hit record, then switch the hit record, and then go into chromatic mode. Yeah, I don't know, I got caught up in what I was thinking. I keep going to pad mute mode. Sometimes you just gotta work through it. There we go. Now we're gonna add that bass line. That's why I don't like chopping stuff out. I like to leave it all in there. You guys can see, you know, even though you know what you're doing, sometimes you can hit the brick wall and you still just work through it. You know what I mean? It's only so many things. A lot of times it's user error. But that's how I could chop some samples up, man. Make my own samples is how you can make your own sample. You know, play it in, layer it up, sample it over, chop it down, speed it up, add some effects, get some drums that match to the pitch and the sound and the style, and go to work. Hopefully this sparked some ideas for you. Hopefully you found value in this video, and we got another one. Check out the masterclass. Follow me on all social media, 365 O.T.G. We out.